Everybody, and welcome to another session on Counselor. My name remains Emenne Ifeanyi, and today we're going to be talking about the power of perception. And I want to start with the story of two marketers that work in the same company. Now, both of them had a target of about 50 million per month, and one every month met his target. In fact, a lot of time he exceeded his target. The other one was barely able to do about 50 to 60% of his target. But recently, the person who was meeting 100% of his target was actually demoted, while the person who was doing about 50 to 60% of his target was promoted. Now the question is, why would an MD promote somebody who was not meeting his target, and the person who was always meeting his target was not promoted? And it's about the power of perception. One of the most important areas of business that a lot of people underlook or overlook is the power of perception. Though this guy was meeting his target, but he never submitted any report to show that he was actually meeting his target. And in the mind of the MD, there was this perception that this guy was actually doing nothing. The other guy, though he was not meeting his target, but every day he was sending a daily report of his activity. He was sending a daily report of the people he had met, the customer he went to visit. And he created a perception that he was actually working very hard to progress. Now, the managing director of the company analyzed these two people and felt that this guy that was always working, giving his daily report, keeping him updated, and also calling him, that this was the person who was actually working. While this other guy that was exceeding his target, because he failed to create the perception in the mind of the MD that he was actually working, he was perceived that he was doing nothing. And it was only when this other guy was promoted that he now sent in his report. And it was when he now sent his report that he was seeing that he has actually been doing far better than this other guy. But nobody knew, because the perception he created was he doesn't record update on his customers' visitation. He doesn't update on the number of jobs he got within the week. He doesn't update on the inflow he was generating. And in the mind of everybody, he created this perception that he was a lazy worker. A lot of times we are having challenges in our work area because we are creating, knowingly or unknowingly, the wrong perception in the mind of our customers. Recently, 2 days ago, I attended a meeting at Business School of Netherlands. And one of the speakers was saying that what people fail to realize is that even honesty is an issue of perception. You might be honest, but when people don't perceive you as being honest, people will not want to do business with you. You might be good in what you do, but if people don't perceive you as being good in what you do, people will not want to do business with you. For instance, let's in our own area, we are running a business school. We are good at what we do, but if people don't perceive us as being very good in what we do, they will not want to do business with us. The question is, what perception are we creating in the mind of people that we are doing business with? In the mind of people that we are working with? Have we realized that feedback is one of the most important factors that drives perception? You visit a client, you do something for him. Do you take out time to give him feedback? This is what I did for you. Or you just assume that he should know that you are actually working for him. You do a job and you put it there. Do you ask for feedback so that you ensure that you are creating the right perception about what you are doing? Even when you do something right, even when your product or your service is one of the best in the industry, are you actually reaching out to people to show them that what you are doing is one of the best in the industry? We must understand the power of perception. Perception in business is stronger than reality. A bank might be failing, but people will have the right, once people, as long as customers have the right perception about it, it will continue to do well. But the moment that people start to have this perception that you are actually struggling, people will start to run away from you. So it's important for us in what we are doing to ensure that we are creating the right perception about our work. The quality of what you've delivered compared to others, how is it? Are you positioning yourself as one of the best in the industry? Are you positioning yourself as just an average person? Perception is critical, which is somehow, that is why some people actually overprice their products, because they want to create this perception that we have this way of equating price with quality. And based on the way you position yourself in a market, people will perceive the quality you are offering based on the price you attach to your goods or service. And when it comes to the workplace, when it comes to business, we must understand the economics and politics of perception. If we don't learn to play the politics of perception very well, you find out that business that people want to do with you, they will not actually want to do that business with you. So it's important that we start to create the right perception around what we do and around ourselves. A lot of us have not realized that if we have not learned how to play the politics of perception, and people don't perceive you as being able to do what you are supposed to do, most times they will not come to you when they have such challenges. So it's important for us to understand the politics and economics of perception. And perception is a competitive strategy in the market. The way people perceive you will determine the amount of money they are willing to pay to you. So it's important for you to understand that if you don't use perception as a competitive strategy, then people will not be willing to pay you as much as you expect them to pay you. Which is why it's important for us to work hard on creating the right perception in the mind of our customers. Which is why it's important for us to always tell our customers that we are the best at what we do. Because when you keep emphasizing that we are the best at what we do, your customer is having this perception that you are actually the best at what you do. So we must work on the perception that we are creating in the mind of our customers in when we are doing business with them. And monitor how key stakeholders perceive your goods and services. It's not about being good at what you do. The MD of the people you are working with, how do they perceive you? Those who are making decisions in the industry where you are operating, how are they perceiving you? Even if you are good at what you do, are the key influencers perceiving you as being good at what you do? Which is why the mistake a lot of people make is that maybe you're rendering a service, you're offering some goods, and the only people that know about you are just the junior staff in the company. Now, when it's just the junior staff that know about you, what will happen? The people who make key decisions will not know what you do, and they will not come to you when they need your quality of service or goods or service. So it's important for us in all the business we are doing, in all the customers we are interacting with, identify who are the key decision makers and make sure that we interact with them all the time. The more you interact with the decision makers, the more they will start to perceive you as being good at what you do. Let's say, for instance, we do a graphic work for somebody, and we put it out there, and we send to the customer. Somebody must follow up on that customer to find out his feedback. I hope that you know that this is one of the best you can get, so that we are putting in the mind of the customer that we are giving him the best quality of what is out there compared to every other person, so that the owner now can start to perceive us as being able to offer top quality goods and service. And which is also where personal branding comes in. And which is why I've been shouting on the way we package ourselves is very, very critical. People will equate your brand with the way you package yourself. If you are offering a high value product or service, but you are dressed shabbily, there's no way people want to do business with you. Because they perceive you the way you package yourself. So it's important for us that personal branding comes into play. When we are dressing to come to work, we must take out time to analyze ourselves. How are we looking? It's not just about waking up, picking up anything you want to wear and just dress up and go to work. The perception you create as your personal brand is important because it reflects on the quality of service you are offering to the customer. There's a way you dress and you walk into an office, the receptionist will not allow you to go and see the MD. But there's a way you dress just by coming, even if you've not come there before. Just the way you are dressed will open doors for you because you are perceived as a high network person. Build bridges and have build networks. If you want to build the right perception, a lot of people must perceive you as being valuable. And for you to do that, you must start to build massive network. Find out who are the key decision makers in the industry you operate and make sure that you start to network with them. Start to reach out to them, find out who they are, interact with them, attend their events, attend their functions so that they get to know you. Such that when there is a need to reference somebody, when somebody is asking for the kind of goods or services you offer, these other influencers already perceive you as offering top quality goods and service, and your name will pop up and they will refer you. But if you don't work on the perception, you don't build network, if you don't build bridges across the people in the industry, then people who are supposed to know you will not know you, and it will make it difficult for people to work with you. Finally, have a plan B. When the way people perceive you, you find out that is wrong. Always have a plan B in changing the minds of people. Don't just say, okay, this is the way I am. Find a plan B and say, okay, if people are perceiving me, this is how I want to be perceived. It means that you must say, this is clearly how I want to be perceived, and make sure that the way you want to be perceived is how people are perceiving you. If you don't work on the way you want to be perceived and you allow the market to determine how you will be perceived, there's a high chance that it will place a negative perception on you. But if you are determining, okay, this is how we want to be perceived. We want to be perceived as the industry leader. We want to be perceived as the company that once people come into, they will know that their business challenges is being taken care of. We want to be perceived as a company that once people come in, they know that, okay, this is where I'll go and I'll be taught how to make my business more profitable and more sustainable. It means that we must have a plan to ensure that at any particular point, the name of our business comes up in the mind of the customer. If a customer thinks about Counselor, the first thing that comes to his mind is a perception that this people can make my business more profitable and more sustainable. Which means all our activities must be tailored towards working towards this perception that we want to create around our business. Not just for us, also for our clients. In all our activity, in everything we are doing, in all the designs we are making, we must always ask ourselves, are we creating the perception in the mind of our business customers that we can make their business more profitable and more sustainable? As long as we are doing that, we are sure that our business are growing. But once we are not doing that, then the negative perception will be created in the mind of our customers. So, I want us to understand the power of perception. And throughout this week, we work on it to develop the positive perception, the kind of image we want our customers to have about us. So, I want to say thank you for those of you who have watched this program, and we'll see you next week when we'll be shooting the next session on how to turn your business around. For those of you who want to reach us, you can reach us on social media. One of the numbers that you'll find on our website or on our page. Just search, do a Google search of Counselor University, or send us a message on WhatsApp, and we'll reach across to you. Thank you for watching, and God bless.